the plan here for today's broadcast is we're going to be casting this PiGosaur Cup, and then right after this we'll have like a 10-minute break, and then we'll be jumping into the GSL qualifiers, the finale. There's still 4 best of 3s remaining that we haven't casted for the GSL qualifiers, so we're going to be covering that after this broadcast. That is the plan, so back-to-back broadcasts. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the orange Terran player, the American Terran representing Detonate. It is Dolan. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will advance on into the next round. Will it be one Terran or the other? Up to you to decide. Now, coming into this, again, this is a rematch. Apparently, they faced off earlier this week in the Monday Night Weekly, and Nicoract did take down Dolan 2-0, but Dolan said that he felt like, you know, he definitely could have played a little bit better in certain aspects, and definitely could have taken it to Nicoract. So I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I do likewise lean towards Nicoract coming into this, but we got a lot of love for Dolan here. A lot of love for Dolan. For those that are unaware, for those that are maybe newer viewers to the channel, Dolan is an ex-Cranky Duckling. Dolan, he was on the Cranky Ducklings for quite some time, actually. For quite some time, he was representing the team. He was representing us in WTL, in World Team League, and is definitely near and dear to our hearts. Eventually, he got an offer to join Detonate, and we were more than happy to let Dolan go and you know, spread his wings, fly the coop, if you will. So very happy to see Dolan find a new team, and we'll see how he's able to compare here to Nicoract. So far, double gas opener, racks into a factory. Likewise, Dolan doing the same thing, mirrored builds. So far, we do have mirrored builds here between our players. We are going double gas. Dolan, of course, he's known for his Dolan builds. He's known for having some quirky styles at times and some cheeky all-ins, but that is usually for Terran vs Protoss, I feel, and sometimes for Zerg as well, but for the most part, his TvT is more standard than anything. Not as quirky with his style. So now Dolan pokes in, delays the CC. Oh, and he will kill the worker. Not bad. Does get a kill here on the worker. Takes down the SCV. From here, does pull away. Does pull out. We have Nicoract going for his own 1-1-1. And likewise, Dolan doing the same. We do have a slight deviation here. We do have the tech lab on the factory from the side of Dolan, so Dolan going for faster Cyclone production. Meanwhile, we do have Nicoract going for a Reaper Hellion early on. Okay, so he commits the Reaper Hellion. With this, Nicoract, he has map control, and he's looking to try to pick off any stray units out on the map. Dolan is taking a more defensive stance with his Cyclones, but one Cyclone on its own is not enough here. He needs everything together. If he reacts too late, he will lose that Cyclone. And here comes Nicoract. Dolan, he kites back. Not bad, he does kite back. Marines, they move down. He's going for the dive on the Cyclone. Up, and he will get it. Yeah, massive PiGosaur Cyclone goes down. At the same time, busting into the mineral line, trying to find some economic damage. Oh, gets one SCV, not bad. Gets one, gets two. 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs do go down. Ice control towards the end. Nicoract, he will lose the army, but he will trade very nicely. Takes down the Cyclone, and he takes down the 3 SCVs. Again, it was an awkward defense for Dolan. Dolan, unfortunately, for the start of that fight, he had 2 Reapers in the main. He had 2 Reapers in the main base, so they were not a part of that defense early on. And Dolan, he was overwhelmed. Was overrun. As it settles, Nicoract, he's in a slightly better position. Is slightly better, bearing in mind that Reaper Hellion does not scale well into a longer game, so killing a Cyclone and getting worker damage is ideal. So better start here for Nicoract. Behind this, both players working towards Raven, both players working towards their tank production. I say that Dolan, he does make another Cyclone first, just to be safe. Just to be safe. From here, we are just going to slow things down. Oh my god, Nicoract going for an old school build here, going for a second starboard. Second starboard, this is going to be a 2-port Dew-base all-in here from Nicoract. I say that this is a modern variation of this build. Usually, this would be for reactored Viking production into Liberator into 2-base all-in. This is more modern because it does start things off with initially Ravens, then the add-on swap, then into Viking. So it's going to be Viking Raven from the side of Nicoract. I believe with this, there are versions of this where you can expand and get a third, but this is still very committed and very aggressive here from Nicoract, as he's making 3 Vikings at a time, which will ensure that he does maintain air control. Go. Likewise, Dolan, he's going to be down in Vikings as he's only making 2 at a time. This is going to move out. Third CC on location. Bold move here by Dolan. Dolan, he does break out. Scans us for the Viking count. Here's where he's now down in Vikings. Ooh. Thankfully going up. Dolan sitting up here outside of the base, but again, because of the lower Viking count, I can definitely see Nicoract bullying this. Yeah, Liberator's on the way. Liberator is on the way. That's going to be a big deciding factor here. Dolan is in trouble. Here come the Master Sables, and Nicoract, he breaks out. He breaks out. Order turrets are not going to be enough here. Tank volley's going up. I mean, Dolan, actually, he does stim forward. Say stim. They don't have stim, but Marines, they do break through. Not bad. He'll bleed out all the tanks, but does he get on top of the tanks of his opponent? Barely. He does. The Vikings, they land. Oh my god, so close. Yeah, it does land just in time. GG. And Dolan with his reinforcements, with his Marines, he actually does break through that siege line. And Dolan takes game 1. Let's go. Oh my god. GG. Let's go. Here we go. We are going to be getting into our next game. Fun fact, I messaged Dolan. I was like, GG, let's go. Not gonna lie, I thought that fight was gonna go badly. Dolan, he's like, me too. he's like, I'm surprised I won that fight. I don't know what the hell just happened. Let's go. But the Auto Charge did a great job tanking shots, even though the Master Sable was popping off. Like again, the Marines, the landed Vikings, the Auto Turrets at Dolan, he barely had enough to break through that low ground setup. And GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're now getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the green Terran player. We have the Platinum Heroes Terran down in the series. We'll see if he bounces back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. I'm sure he can. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing Detonate, leading the series 1-0. It is Dolan. Nicoract, he's angry. He's upset. Here we go. We have 2 SCVs. We have 2 proxy Raxes here outside of the bases, and we are looking to cheese Dolan out. Now, depending on the opener, Dolan might be in trouble. Dolan, last game he did open up double gas. Double gas, but here, 2 Rax Reaper opener here. Dolan with a very good read. The SCV does move out across the map. The SCV will miss the proxy location, but this build that Dolan is going for is designed to hard counter proxy 2 Rax, because Dolan, he'll have the equivalent production, but defensively back at home with that defensive advantage. So this should be better for Dolan. He also can pull the boys and have some SCVs to help support, but what I will say, this is good for Dolan. It comes down to the execution, comes down to the micro, comes down to the control. Oh my god, as Nicoract, he's doubling down, he's going for a 3rd Rax. SCV Scout does confirm that the Rax is missing. We have the 3rd Rax across the map. I didn't think that Nicoract would double down this hard, but okay. So he's going Mass Reaper. Suddenly, we'll see if Dolan can hold with this. It's gonna be close, definitely. You can see, yeah, the boys are being pre-pulled. He does pre-pull some of the boys. Usually you pre-pull like maybe 3 or 4. This is a big reaction here, pulling 6 SCVs. That's a lot of SCVs that aren't going to be mining. Bear that in mind. But here we go. He does have the high ground. Reapers dive in. Oh, the boys are here. And he does get the first Reaper. Oh, ta-da! The first Reaper goes down. And with that, Dolan, he holds, he defends. I would say, in a sense, almost overreacted there, but no, it worked out beautifully. And with that, Dolan will take the 2-0. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Bearing in mind that because Nicoract went for a 3rd Rax, that meant he was all in. Typically you can transition out of 2Rax Reaper, but he doubled down. He doubled down into a 3rd Rax. GG, well played. Dolan will take the series and advance on. Oh my god, crazy. GG, well played. Dolan, he will take the series. He'll advance on into the next round. Again, a very intense series here. Again, game 1 was crazy. Game 1 was very close. I wasn't too confident when it came to the push, when it came to the assault of Dolan. Here in game 2, very fortunate. I don't know what the history is when it comes to their series in Monday Night Weekly. I don't know if this had happened before, where Nicoract had gone for the proxy Raxes and had maybe cheesed Dolan out in the past. But yeah, this is a really good read here at Dolan, opening up 2 Raxes back at home with that GG. Again, like almost a hard counter from Dolan. And with that, that does lead us here into the rest of the brackets. I was expecting, in the TvT, I was expecting a longer series, I'll be honest. So